we have been fought, and the black face has been left out, and yet since slavery, we have still trusted in God. He goes on to say that you may tie us and then taunt us for our lack of bravery, but one day we won't break the bond. You may use our labor for 2.5 centuries and then taunt us for our poverty, but let me remind you, we will not always remain poor. You may withhold even the knowledge of how to read God's word and learn the way from earth to glory and then taunt us for our ignorance. But we would remind you that there is plenty room at the top and we are climbing and nothing will stop us. Then George White, in the face of the Dixiecrats, in the face of the Tea Parties of that day, in the face of the regressive forces of that day, the record says he planted his feet, stood as a lone black voice in the Congress, and said, "This is perhaps the Negro's temporary farewell to the American Congress, but let me say this as I leave this floor. Phoenix like we will rise up someday and come again. We will come again." These, my brothers and sisters, were the parting words of a black man on behalf of an outraged, heartbroken, bruised, bleeding, but God-fearing, faithful, industrial, loyal, rising people who he said were full of potential and force. He was defiant and hopeful. I want to suggest to you today, as a matter of call to action, that in 2012 we find ourselves in another regressive historical moment. Tea Party, ultra-conservatives have taken over the Republican Party. Brother Matt Shirley and others reminded us last night to be surgical. Don't just say the Republican Party. Call out the extremists.
All right.
Ultra-conservatives, Tea Parties, and while they claim allegiance with the original Republicans, the truth is there is no comparison.
All right.
The ultra-conservative right-wing, extreme right-wingers, and Tea Partiers are anti-civil rights law, anti-public education, anti-workers' rights, pro-tax cuts to the wealthy, pro-division rather than unity. They pander to past prejudices in order to get elected.
That's right.
Their politicians like Sarah Palin have put bullseyes on their opponents. Their talk show hosts like Beck and O'Reilly and Limbaugh fill the airwaves with madness and racist talk. They win elections and desire power to stay stuck in the politics of yesterday rather than moving to the politics of tomorrow. And so we must be clear, my brothers and sisters of the North Carolina Conference, we must be clear about what this moment means for us. Like George White, we as a state conference must plant our feet and be defiant and hopeful. We must say forward together and not one step back. That must be our commitment. I was in the General Assembly on Thursday, and I heard how these ultra-conservative Tea Partiers are trying to govern. I was there 12 minutes after they voted in a committee to repeal health care reform. In a nation where, because of the health care reform that has taken more than 100 years for this president to get through, no other president was able to do it. 32 million people that would not have the health insurance will be covered now. College students will be able to stay on their parents' insurance until they're 26. born with hydrocephalus, the swelling of the brain, will no longer have to face insurance companies telling them because you have a pre-existing condition that you can't get health insurance. And yet in our General Assembly, these radical extremists, Tea Party, ultra-conservative, want to repeal health care reform. They want to repeal health care reform in a state where 27% of those without health insurance are black. Make no mistake about it, my brothers and sisters. Repealing health care reform is a form of racism and classism, and we must plant our feet and say forward together, not one step back. Another effort they will try to pass next week is Jim Crow poll tax. Jim Crow poll tax is what I call it is. They call it voter ID. Don't you ever forget that one of the brothers that became Supreme Court Justice from Greensburg, Illinois, slips my memory right now. When he first went to vote in his own community, when he first went to vote in his own community, the person gave him a test to read the Constitution. They couldn't read it themselves. And he became Supreme Court Justice in the state of North Carolina, Henry Fry. And some of you all are here, I'm not talking about how old you are, I'm talking about how experienced you are. Y'all remember? Don't you remember? And here we are now with this ultra-conservative body saying the next thing they're going to do is pass voter ID. Demanding folk to have ID when that's a problem that doesn't need a solution. It's already fixed. It's a felony if you do fraud when you vote. But it is all because if they were to pass it, some studies say immediately about 150,000, mostly black people, would be removed from eligibility. That has nothing to do with young people and older people that would be negatively affected. Here we are in the 21st century, and these extremists want to go backwards. And somebody must do like George White, plant our feet and say forward together, not one step back. They also are trying to repeal the Racial Justice Act. The Racial Justice Act says that you can prove that the death penalty is applied on a racist basis, and then if even a person is guilty, they can receive life without the possibility of parole. They ran those racist ads during the election, worse things than Jesse Helms ever ran. We know that black people are 6 times more likely to receive the death penalty than whites. Poor people are 4 times more likely. Darrell Hunt, who's working with our state conference now on the issue of the anti-death penalty, was 1 vote away from death. When you see him around, is he in here? When you see him around, when you look at that brother, you're looking at a brother that was 1 vote from death. And 20 years later, they found out he was innocent. He's now working for the NAACP. But this state was going to try to kill him for something he didn't do. A white law